Hello, welcome to the Disbursement Services training on Chrome River for proxies and travelers. Let's first review the benefits of Chrome River. No more printing paper forms. Reports are automatically routed for you, and you can easily track where your pre-approval and expense reports are in the approval process. Snap a photo of your receipts on your mobile device and send them to your receipt gallery. When entering mileage, Google Maps will automatically pop up and attach a map to your report. Approvers receive detailed emails when a report requires their approval and can approve or return a report right from the email. The system will calculate rates for you, such as per diem and IRS mileage. P-card transactions related to travel will be housed in the e-wallet. The system will tell you if you are missing something before you fully submit a report. And end users have the ability to run reports such as my delegates, my expense approval items, and my firm paid items. Pre-approval reports. Pre-approvals are now used in lieu of the ARR-TV form. Pre-approvals allow you to obtain pre-authorization from your BRUM and travel officer for an expense before it is incurred or a reservation is made. If you are a proxy completing a report on behalf of the traveler, you must select the appropriate person under Select Another User on your homepage. Any report submitted on behalf of the traveler will go to the traveler first for approval. And here we have the pre-trip authorization process. And you'll see the first two steps can be done in reverse order. So you want to complete the approval of attendance form and vehicle request form as needed. Then the traveler or proxy completes and submits a pre-approval report. The BUM is then automatically notified via email that a report is awaiting their approval. Once the BUM approves, the travel officer is notified via email for final approval, and then the traveler or proxy receive email notification that the pre-approval report has been fully approved. Note that international travel will require additional approval from Global Engagement, Risk Management, and VP Provost. Chrome River will automatically route your pre-approval to the appropriate person for each step. What information is required on a PA report header? The types of fields and drop-downs on the PA header entry screen will vary based on the report type. And the report type will be employee, student, candidate, etc. And once you have chosen your report type, you will not be able to change it. And that's because depending on the report type you choose, that will dictate the rest of the questions that come up on the header screen. You'll need the conference name or report name, which will be the name of the trip or conference and start date of travel, your start and end dates, your departure and return time, the trip type, which is essentially the account code, so it will be something such as faculty or staff training, meetings and conferences, or international travel. Your official campus location, your trip destination, business purpose, events ethical questions, and the report header will have 2 questions, and you choose yes or no from the dropdown, and then complete and submit the request for approval form with institutional diversity and equity. Allocations. You search the list by typing the first 4 digits of the number or typing the name of the org. If you are unsure of the allocation, you can use temporary in order to continue completing your form, and then you can go back at a later time to input the correct allocation. Once you have filled out the basic header information, click Save, and then you'll be able to add potential expenses. Adding potential expenses to a PA report. There are 7 expense type tiles, and you'll see them here. We have air travel, transportation, hotel, meals, travel expenses, group travel, and fees. Clicking on one will open up additional expenses for that type. So example, under air travel, we have airfare, baggage fee, change ticket fee, agent fee, seat upgrade fee, fee other, insurance, and Wi-Fi. Now let's review some best practices. Under the meals expense tile, you want to use the per diem wizard to have the system calculate the per diem rate for you based on the location. Attach images and documents such as an airfare estimate while you are creating your report. Click anywhere in the header to bring up the header preview. Then you scroll down and you'll see a spot to upload attachments. You can also post comments as needed in this section. When entering personal vehicle mileage, indicate if the travel is on a workday or non-workday in the optional description box. If you are attending a conference, include the conference website under the registration fee, and you'll see an optional field labeled website. You will receive email notification once your report has been approved, but you can also track your request by clicking on Submitted Last 90 Days in the PA section of the dashboard. You find the report in the list, click on it, and then click on Tracking to see the status. Now let's look at examples of some emails that are sent. Here we have the email sent to the BUM, and you'll see it has action required on the top. The BUM can approve or return all line items on the report right from the email. A new email will open when you click on Accept or Return, and comments can be added. The BUM has the option of logging into Chrome River to open the report to approve or reject individual line items. Next is the email sent to the end user, and this serves as a notification of approval and will be sent to the traveler and proxy if the proxy completed and submitted on behalf of the traveler. Now let's go into Chrome River and actually create a pre-approval report. So here is the home page of Chrome River. If you're set up as an approver, you will have this approval section up top with any reports that may need your approval. Here we have any of your expenses that are in draft form, any that have been returned, and all the ones that have been submitted in the last 90 days. And you also have those same categories for any pre-approval reports. Up here, I have my name. Now, if I'm a proxy and I want to complete a report on behalf of the traveler, I would click my name and I would have a list of people that I support right under my name, and I could choose them. Then you click New, Pre-Approval Report to start a new report. So first we have the conference name, report name, which will always be the same naming convention, which is the name of the meeting and the first date of travel. So I'm going to just type in the name of the conference, which is the Aleutian Conference. And the first date of travel, I'm going to say is June 25th, 2018. Then you want to put in your start and end dates for the trip. And you'll see the number of days automatically populates, and the system is already set to pay you in US dollars. Next, we have the business purpose, which I'll just type in. Connect with peers and participate in professional development. Next is our report type, and you'll see the options we have here. I'm going to choose employee. Then we have two of our ethics questions. The first one is, are you attending this event for scholarly purpose, teaching or research? And you'll see both the yes and the no does have a note here to complete and submit that request for approval form. So I'm going to go ahead and click no. Will employee receive an honorarium or be paid from outside sources in connection with this assignment? I'm going to click no. Next, we have our trip type. In this instance, I'm going to choose meetings and conference. And you'll see when I do that, additional questions then populated. I would check this box if I was presenting at the conference, And if I knew of anybody else from Stockton that would be attending with me or a co-presenter, I would just type their name in here. My official campus location, which I'll choose the main campus, Galloway. Trip destination is going to be out of state. The state is going to be Louisiana. The city, I'm going to type in New Orleans. And then departure time, we'll say morning, return time, afternoon. This ID number is your Z number, which is optional, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. And you'll see now I'm at allocations. So if I didn't know the number for my org, I can just start typing the name of my org, disbursements, and you'll see it'll pop up. So I will choose that. Then next I'm going to choose the fund from the drop-down menu, and then the program. And then you click Save. So now you're done with the report header screen. And if for any reason you got locked out of your computer or something happened, this report will automatically be saved in your draft pre-approval folder. Also, anything else that you add to your report from this point forward will also be automatically saved. So now let's add some potential expenses to this report. I'm going to go ahead and click on air travel and airfare and input my estimated amount, which I'll say is $250. You have a description box, which is optional. The air class, you'll see that we have the premium, economy, business, and first all have a note that they are not authorized per procedure. So I'm going to go ahead and pick economy coach. And then the PA airline, which is optional, but I will go ahead and choose Spirit Airlines. Then click Save. So now that expense has been added to the report over to the left. Next, I'm going to add personal vehicle mileage, and that is housed under transportation. Click on that. And you'll see the estimated amount box is grayed out because that means the system will be able to calculate it for you. So let's go to the mileage dropdown and choose the IRS rate. So the estimated mileage from my home to the Philadelphia airport, we'll say, is about 64 miles. If you know your normal home to work commute, you can put that in there as well. And then you choose your departure location, which I will say is going to be from home. And you'll see that the estimated amount populated up here. I'll click Save to add that to the report. Next, I want to add the hotel lodging expenses. So I click on Hotel, Lodging. And again, this is grayed out because the system will calculate it for us based on the number of nights, which I'll say is 4, and then the hotel rate. And you'll see the amount is now populated. You want to check here if you are staying at the conference hotel. And then you just need to put in the hotel name as well as the hotel address. Then click Save. Next, we'll do a registration fee, which is found under the Fees tile. Then I go to Registration. And I'll just type in $995 for that. And as I had mentioned earlier, although the website box here is optional, it's definitely recommended to put in the website if you do have that for a meeting or conference. Then you click Save. Next, I want to add the per diem meals. So I'll go over to Meals. And you always want to use the Per Diem Wizard because this tool will allow the system to calculate it for you based on the location, so you won't ever have to look that up. So I'll click on Per Diem Wizard and then re-enter my start and end dates, which is the 25th through the 29th. And then I just need to type in the location. which is New Orleans. And you'll see that pops up right here. So I'll choose that. Then you click on Add Entries. And here we have the per diem rates already calculated. Now you'll notice Monday and Friday have a reduced amount, and that's because those are the travel days. So the system will automatically do that for your the start and end date of travel. And let's say that for this conference, both breakfast and lunch are included on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we want to put those in as deductibles. So you just open this up, click on breakfast and lunch for each day, and you'll see the amount has been reduced. Then I just click Add to Report to add the per diem over to the pre-approval report. So after you have added all your potential expenses, you will see that the system automatically generates this PA report ID number. And this is really the number that you would want to reference in any Works transactions. Anytime you use the P card, you want to put that number in the reference fields, similar to how you put in the ARTV number currently. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Submit. And you'll see I get a pop-up right here to just certify that the expenses listed here are true and correct. And I just want to go ahead and click Submit again. And this is the point where if anything was incorrect or missing from your report, you will receive a warning message. For example, if I chose the first class airfare, you would get a message here to let you know that that is against policy and you would be required to add a response. So for this, we just have a notice to complete the request for approval of attendance form, and this is just serving as a reminder and will be a warning message on every pre-approval that does get submitted. So you just want to acknowledge that. You can put okay, or you can say it was already submitted, but you just want to put some type of response in the box, and then you would click Hit Submit again, and then it would go straight to your bum, who would get an email from Chrome River that there's a pre-approval report awaiting their approval. So the traveler and proxy will receive an email from Chrome River once the pre-approval report has been fully approved. But I do want to show you how to track that as well. So if I click on Chrome River, that takes me right back to my home page. And let's take a look at a pre-approval report that I've already submitted. And you'll see all the pre-approval reports have the status listed right under. Let's look at one that's pending approval. So if I click on that, and I click on Tracking, it will actually show me where it is at in the approval process. So you'll see step 1 was to my bum, and step 2 right now it's sitting with global engagement. And you can even see the next steps that this pre-approval report needs because this is an international travel approval. So you'll see risk management, VP provost, and then the travel officer. So this is a nice way to just see where your pre-approval report might be in the approval process. So now let's go on to expense reports. Expense reports will be completed when a traveler is requesting reimbursement, and the completed approved report will feed into Banner as a direct pay. The vendor invoice field will populate as a first date of travel, and the commodity description will be the report name and the expense report ID number created by Chrome River. Best practices and tips for expense reports. So from your home page, you click on your name in the upper right-hand corner, or you select the appropriate user if you're the proxy. You click on New Expense Report. The header will pop up. You want to scroll down and click on Import Data from Pre-Approval to ensure that all data from your approved PA report will carry over. Travelers should take pictures of their receipts and send them to receipt@chromefile.com from their Stockton email address. The subject line of the email should be the dollar amount for the receipt. The system will recognize and store the receipt within the receipt gallery, and then the traveler receives an email confirmation that the receipt has been received. Your e-wallet will contain any P-card transactions related to travel. These transactions will only show in Chrome River if they have been closed by disbursement services. In order to expedite reimbursements, please ensure the P-card transactions are reconciled and receipts are attached in a timely manner. The pre-approval report number, which is the last 6 digits, should be entered in the reference field of the transactions in Works. Now let's continue with best practices. When creating an expense report for a blanket pre-approval, you will not be able to import the PA report data. Instead, you will have to attach the PA report in order to reference the same PA report multiple times. This is because a data import can only occur once. The only time you will complete a direct pay and banner for travel reimbursement is for candidate and students. Users have the ability to store the mileage and amount for their normal workday commute under User Settings, Preference Settings. So when adding personal vehicle mileage as an expense, users can automatically deduct the distance or amounts as needed. So now let's go back into Chrome River and create an expense report from the pre-approval report that we just created. So we are back at our home page in Chrome River. And again, if I'm a proxy completing the report for the traveler, I'm just going to click on my name and choose the appropriate person. Then click on New Expense Report. Then you're going to scroll down and click on Import Data from Pre-Approval. Now this will allow us to take the approved pre-approval report and apply it to the expense report. Remember that because a pre-approval data import can only occur once, the pre-approval for any expense reports created for blanket pre-approvals must be attached and not imported. So in this case, the user would complete the expense report and just type in all that header information. And then when you go to submit the expense report, you'll get a message to then attach the appropriate pre-approval report. So here we have our drop-down menu. I'm just going to click on it and choose the pre-approval that I'm looking for, which is this Aleutian Conference. And the most recent ones will always be at the bottom of the list. So I'll click on that and then click on Create. And then you just need to re-enter the departure and return dates. Then click on Save. And if you don't get a chance to submit your report since you clicked on Save, this will automatically be in your Drafts folder. So you'll see that all of the expense line items that were included on the pre-approval report are now listed here on our expense report. Anything with this green check next to it means it's already been validated, so nothing else is needed on your end. You'll see that for the per diem expense line items, and that's because the per diem amount was already approved, so nothing else needs to be done. But if you had to edit it for any reason, you could just click on it and then edit it as needed. You'll see that the other line items do have this red violation warning, and that's because they just need to be validated. So receipts will have to be attached, and you'll most likely have to edit the information that was carried over from the pre-approval. So for example, let's click on registration fee. Now let's say this charge was done via the P card. So there are a couple ways we can identify that on our expense report. One way is to click on this plus symbol right here, and you'll see our e-wallet and e-receipts show up. If I click on personal account, this will actually take me to any P-card transactions related to travel that are under my name. So these transactions are only going to show in Chrome River once they've been reconciled in Works and approved by Disbursement Services. So if we wanted to bring this charge over to this line item, you would just have to click on it and you can actually drag it over to merge the two. If you wanted to add a P-card transaction that's not already listed on your expense report, you can just click on the box and then click on Add. If you happen to not see the P-card transaction that you're looking for in your personal account, you do have the ability to type in the TXN number from Works. So you would just click on Edit. Then you check the box for University Credit Card and you can type in the TXN number here. Now let's go ahead and look at airfare. If I scroll down, this is where I can add an attachment, like if you wanted to add the receipt or boarding passes. So if I click on Add Attachments, you'll see I have two options: to attach from the receipt gallery or to upload an attachment from the computer. If I click on Receipt Gallery, these are the images that I had sent to receipt@chromefile.com. So to attach one, you just have to click on the box and then you click on Attach to attach that image to this line item. I'm going to go ahead and click back on this plus sign and just show you what the offline account looks like. So I'm going to click on that. And you'll see I also have receipts here as well. So when a traveler sends a receipt to receipt@chromefile.com, Chrome River can analyze the data and actually assign your receipt to an expense type and also list the name of the vendor. So in this example, Chrome River identified that the image of this receipt was for a hotel and that it was from Hilton. So essentially, most receipts that get sent to receipt@chromefile.com will be housed in both this offline section of the e-wallet and the receipt gallery. The receipt gallery will house just a picture of the receipt, while this section will have the receipt and line item created for you. So it is advised to regularly clean out these sections by deleting any of the images or any of these line items that you may have already used and may be duplicates. Now next, let's look at the personal vehicle mileage expense. I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit. And we want to calculate the actual miles that we traveled. So let's click on Map. And you see it brings us right to the map. And I'm going to type in the location that I started at. We'll say that's the home address to the Philadelphia airport. I'll choose that. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Return to Start because I traveled back home from the airport. Then click on Save Trip. And you'll see the miles were inputted as well as the amount for the reimbursement. You'll also see that the description box is now populated with the travel. It is recommended to also type in this box if the days that you traveled were normal work days or not. So in this case, I'm going to write that both June 25th and June 29th are normal work days. Now, because they are normal work days and I did leave from home, we do have to deduct the amount of our normal commute from the total miles. So how we do that is under deduction, if I click on this and choose distance, you'll see the distance is populated for me. Now that's because under my preferences in Chrome River, I have saved the round trip distance on a normal workday. So that's something that can be saved in your profile so you can easily reduce that amount from a reimbursement as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And you'll see that it has now changed to validated. And if you scroll down, you will also see that the map is automatically attached. So once everything has been validated, this submit button will then be active so your report can then be submitted. Anything that is missing a receipt or if something that has been added that goes against our travel policy, you will then see a warning message appear and you will be asked to either edit the expense line item or type in a note. And then once submitted, your BUM will receive an email from Chrome River to approve the report. After the report is approved by the BUM, the report will then go into the queue for disbursement services to approve. Now let's go over some notes and reminders. A proxy will always have to choose the traveler under Select Another User in order to view reports or create a report on behalf of the traveler. The traveler will have to approve any reports created and submitted by the proxy prior to BUM approval. A direct pay will still need to be created for candidate and student travel reimbursements. Mileage and tolls for travel between instructional sites will not be reimbursed unless the distance is more than 25 miles one way or negotiated in a union local agreement. Saving your report header, which again is the first page of the pre-approval or expense report, will automatically save your report as a draft if you do not complete or submit it. When creating an expense report, always import the data from the pre-approval report unless you are referencing a blanket pre-approval. In this case, the approval should be applied or attached to the expense report. The per diem wizard tile should be used so you do not have to look up per diem rates based on location. If there is a website for the conference you are attending, input the link under the registration fee expense on the pre-approval report. For group travel expenses, use the items listed under the group travel tile, but it is recommended to use the per diem wizard under the meals tile so the system can determine the per diem amount and multiple entries can be added. Addendums for pre-approvals will no longer be needed as expense reports that are over the approved amounts on a pre-approval will be reviewed and approved by the BUM prior to review by disbursement services. Approval for attendance forms will still need to be completed and submitted to the Office of Institutional Diversity and Equity. It is suggested that you put your pre-approval ID number on the top of the form. Users have the ability to type in the TXN number for P-card transactions that have not yet been uploaded from Works to Chrome River by clicking on the box next to University Credit Card. Travelers are encouraged to take photos of receipts on their mobile device and draft a new email message containing the following information. It would be to receipt@chromefile.com from your Stockton email address. The subject line is going to be the dollar amount for the receipt. And for the body, you could type in a description such as taxi to airport, or just sending the image is fine as well. The receipt will be housed in the receipt gallery, and an expense line item will be created and housed in the offline section of the e-wallet. Regularly clean out your receipt gallery offline section of your e-wallet by deleting any duplicates. When entering personal vehicle mileage on an expense report, indicate if it is a normal workday in the description box. And next, we just have some action items. So for proxies, please check to see that all travelers you support are listed under your name in Chrome River. If you see people missing or if anything's incorrect, please contact me at my information listed below. Also, please send me your mileage for a normal workday, which is your house to your official campus location, round trip, so I can update everyone's preferences settings. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or issues related to Chrome River. I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching.